so we're here at the Raleigh Tavern, where they have lots of cool stuff, cool activities that go on inside of the tavern. But what we're looking for is behind the Raleigh Tavern. It's the bakery. So let's go there. Okay, so we are at the bakery right now, and we're gonna walk in and pick out our snacks. So let's go in.
See what they have.
So they actually have a live bakery right here. Sorry for the noise. We'll try and cut down the clip. So we have the bakery right here. They actually bake stuff, and they use real wood that they always use back there. Hopefully we can get you to see, because sometimes when we're sitting down, if you want to get a snack, they come rolling around with their carts of wood and fill it up. So yeah, let's go pick our favorite stuff. Okay, so I just picked out my soda that I'm gonna get. So I got the King's Arms ginger ale that's actually made and bottled, I think, in Williamsburg. So let's go grab our breads and cookie and whatever we want from the bakery selection.
Action.
Okay, so we have gotten our food and we're back at one of the tables.
And one for you.
So I have my ginger ale, I have my pretzel roll, my cheese. Now this is how I like to eat it. So I open up the pretzel roll.
Here's your, you see it?
And I open up the cheese. And then I put the cheese in the middle of the pretzel and I eat it just like a sandwich.
Sorry, what are you eating?
Please allow me.
Okay, so this is when we went to Marquis de Lafayette's performance behind the coffee shop.
The Marquis de Lafayette. And what a pleasure and honor it is to see all of you here on this simply magnificent day, this 6th day of November of the year 1784. A day of celebration, is it not?
Yes.
I will always love you Americans. For in truth, most of you have no idea of what I am celebrating, yet you're willing to celebrate right along with me. That is truly a credit to the American people, how very optimistic you are, or perhaps always in want of a party. Well, my friends, how did you know? For I, General Lafayette, have only recently returned back to America after being away for nearly 3 long years.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we are at the courthouse, which is across, so it's all the way across Williamsburg from the Governor's Palace. So as you can see, not as big as the Governor's Palace, but it's definitely as grand as the house, the Governor's Palace. So we're gonna do a quick tour because they just opened it. So now we can tour in wherever we want to go.
Reconstruct the building today. You are also coming into a model of the very first one, which burns by fire in 1747. Miraculously, we saved the speaker's chair from that building fire. It is not only that, it is not...
Committee room. That's the House of Burgesses on that side. On this side is the Governor's Council. It's our bicameral system of the legislature, 2 houses. So this is where they come to meet in the middle and hammer out those negotiations and compromise to get any piece of legislation passed.
The Governor's Council Chamber.
And down below is the High Court of Virginia.
Just started walking down the steps from the governor's meeting room, and I just noticed there's a doorbell right here. It's a secret door. Some random. I'm not gonna open it, but it's crazy. It's built straight into the. Would this be like a more popular spot for like courts and stuff instead of the main court hall down the street?
That's a different kind of court. So, we've got county courts like that one down the street. They handle misdemeanors, things aren't as serious as felonies.
Okay, so we finished touring here. Now we're going to be going to see the Fife and Drums when they start marching in a couple of minutes, which is going to be just a second for you guys. Okay, now the fifes and drums are starting up over there. Let's go march behind them. March behind them. This is the chocolate making factory.
And so what we're going to do is put the sugar in it, it seizes back up, and then you just keep working and working and working with the heated stone until all of that water evaporates, and then it'll go back to liquid chocolate again. I gotta put some more, as far as spices go, we're finding that
Feel free, if you have any questions, just interrupt at any point, but we're making chocolate here today. So right now we're in the final stage of our chocolate making process. And make this
that is a cocoa bean.
It grows in a pod like that, and once that fruit is ready, then you'll open it up, right? And inside you have a...
This is us in the coffee house, taste testing some chocolate, which they used to call hot chocolate, but it's not really what you think hot chocolate is. It's very spicy, very bitter, doesn't have any sweetness to it, because they didn't know how to add sugar and stuff to their chocolate. Anything else to it. It's not like a Hershey bar, it's like straight, I mean cayenne pepper or something. But yeah, let's try it out. They're coming around
please
with the
enjoy
drinks.
when you have the beverage.
Yes, no need to stand upon precedent. This is no formal meal.
Chocolate,
Since you're
please.
insisting on coffee, I will give you coffee.
Peyton, can you, when she's finished, can you help Sawyer have some cream in his coffee?
Can you help?
Friends, you mistake the purpose of a coffee house. Except for you, madam, you and I seem to be of a similar mind. That of conversation.
So this is the coffee.
First and foremost, it is conversation. You
can
are
tell it
able to
has
get
like
these
a
hot liquors
molasses.
wherever you are staying. I have little doubt. It is instead for that discussion. They are referred to as penny universities in London. You pay a penny for the beverage. The education is otherwise free. So in that way, here, as close as we are to the Capitol building, undoubtedly there is to be some discussion in the form of politics, philosophy, anything of that nature. I am certainly not one to stand in your way. I do not wish to dominate the conversation, but nor do I wish to sit in silence. Had I wished to hear my own voice echo in an empty room, I could have easily done so at my lodging house.
Yeah, the chocolate is very bitter. I like it.
This is good.
Is it good? I'm glad you enjoy it.
By the way, the man in the colonial clothing, his name is George Mason, and he is speaking to us at the coffee house.
That they are usually happier when they avoid it.
Hey, I like it. I like it.
It's not pretty, but the flavor smells like
It's good.
I will recommend, sir, if you enjoy it, and I do. I enjoy the chocolate, however, it does not always agree with my constitution. My preferred method, though, is not as it is as such, mixed with water. Of course, it is gratis. You cannot expect much more than that of Charlton. However, if you are willing to purchase your own chocolate and spend a bit more, I quite enjoy mine to be mixed with Madeira or port or something of that nature.
Are we offering that today?
At a certain cost and the extension of one's credit, I have no doubt. Charlton is still a businessman after all. There is little he won't provide for the right price. I also enjoy rum and arak with it, but specifically to the Madeira, anything based in a red spirituous liquor, something with a bit of sweetness natural to it, I find pairs very well. Just for that reason, as you say. Now, of course, there is a deal of sugar in it. That keeps it away from it as it originally is. If you're familiar, chocolate comes in bars, typically. We're going in, never into anything to go solid, but typically to be drink as we're enjoying it now. It is for that reason that if I am going to enjoy it, I might as well enjoy it to its fullest, because it's going to keep me from my sleep regardless.
Great. Have you always lived in Virginia?
Yes, madam. Well, for the most part, I was born here. I lost my father when I was 9 years old, so I spent a while being raised in Maryland, but in there for maybe a year at a time before I would come back to this side of the Potomac, moved down with my uncle for a time, then back to my mother's family plantation of Mattawoman, again back in Maryland, so I would move around, but always only of those two countries, and always rather synonymous with one another. My wife is from Maryland. I think of myself far more as a man of the Potomac, being born along the Potomac, raised here in Virginia along the Potomac, raised for a time in Maryland. But yes, the name of Mason, I having that name, my eldest son having that name, my father having that name, his father, my great-grandfather, being the first George Mason to arrive here upon these shores in the middle of the last century, means that the name of Mason in the family is very near ancient by Virginia standards. They come in sometime during the late Civil War, the English Civil War, of course.
And how do you earn your livelihood?
I am a planter, first and foremost. As I was saying, when I lost my father, he died intestate without a will, meaning at that time I received over 30 slaves and over 20,000 acres. Of course, I was not yet of my majority. It was mine to be inherited upon my majority. In the meantime, until my majority, my mother managed that property, with the assistance of my uncle, John Mercer of Marlborough and the like.
Is that the same Mason that you see in the big yellow truck, GW Mason? It's like a delivery truck. Am I the only one that's ever seen that?
I know what you're talking
You know what I'm talking about? Mason from
It
7.
might be the wrong century.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Well, as I stated, sir, there are a great many Masons before me, but my son, I pass the tradition along to him, and perhaps his son shall be named George Mason as well, but there are a great many. We also must recognize the name in and of itself, much like if we look to our history to look at Cooper or Smith, comes from a trade originally, and so it is perhaps a bit more prolific. But I can promise you this, I have no stone layer or stone mason, anything, bricklayer or stone mason. I have nothing to do with the line attempting being drawn by those two men from Scotland brought over here as they were to be disinterested. That dispute from where that line is between Maryland and Pennsylvania, Masters Mason and Dixon, I believe. No relation, or if the relation is there, it is so deep and distant, I've since been lost to it. What say you of the chocolate, young sir?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
It's a little bit.
I imagine it is for that reason that it is usually thought that chocolate is not to be enjoyed by children.
This is the commons room that is rented by people for parties and stuff of that nature. And this is the box of curiosities that is in the room that you can take a look at. It's very cool because it has all kinds of different animal stuff.
Just that, it's a public space. So perhaps you would rather enjoy a fine dining experience or public discussion with your colleagues from the Capitol building who are in government with you, or just a nice private discussion that can be done here. So this does take a little bit of expense because you are renting out a room, but it's cheaper in... Bright colors, we're not Puritans, so bright colors are okay. It's a very busy wallpaper, and this wallpaper is hand-produced over in England, still is today.
This chair is really awesome.
I'm so glad you like it. Exactly. Thank you.
We forgot our apple. We were going to feed an apple to the horses.
We did.
Except the other horses would be jealous. We'd have to bring 3 apples. Yeah. And you know how you feed a horse? You put the apple in the center of your hand and you sit it, and he'll just take it off with his